Ready? Go.
Okay, record na.
So, good afternoon, everyone. We are the group two. We're going to talk about globalization of popular culture, hype beast. Starting with, next please. Outline of the topic. So, introduction of globalization of popular culture, level of analysis, advantage and the disadvantage. We're going to talk about also the hype beast, the evolution of hype beast, the popular culture versus hype beast, and their common reference, and also how it affects the individual. Next. So, introduction. Globalization propelled by advances in communication and transportation technology, integration of global markets, and deregulation of media outlets in much of the world that has been intensifies the role of media and popular culture in shaping the communication with the understanding the culture different from our own. So ang as we all know that every time we talk about globalization, so this is it propelled by the advances of communication. So ang globalization it helps us to make advances in communication, not just in communication but also in transportation of technology and some other ideas that we acquire. Next, please. So this tends to get the most attention because many complains that this form of globalization is actually Americanization. So ang globalization has brought about tremendous cultural patterns by bringing both elite and mass culture together. So ang globalization daw kay nag-growth of tremendous changes or alteration sa cultural patterns between the both elite or yung mga nakakataas at between the mass culture or sa pangkalahatan together. So the difference between the elite culture and the local culture have been minimized to a negligible number. So the social structure no longer determines the cultural style. Films, broadcast, radio, and television all had a profound influence on culture. So urbanization, industrialization, the mass media, and the continuous growth in technology since the late 1700s have all been significant factors in formation of popular culture. As what mentioned, so modo to sila mga urbanization, industrialization, mga mass media, sila daw ang continuous growth sa technology since the late 1700s. So these continue to be factors shaping pop culture today. Next, please. The level of analysis.
So good day, everyone. I am Evelyn Canoy, and I was assigned to report the level of analysis. So first is we have the pre-structural level. At this level, a certain country is simply acquiring bits of information. So globalization enables foreign companies to distribute American cultural products. Next. So next is unistructural level. So spread of popular culture, the popularity of Western fads and fashions that leads to cultural contact between ordinary people in everyday life. So at this level, a country is able to make simple and obvious connections, but it only focuses on one relevant ideas or culture. Next level is So we have multi-structural level. US or United States is the biggest producer of popular cultural goods. So popular culture is manifested around the world through movies, music, television shows, newspapers, satellite broadcasts. American televisions shows or movies are broadcasted throughout the world. So these popular shows about American individuals that tend to deal with typically American subjects. As a result, teenagers from around the world resulting in worldwide imitation. So the fourth one is the relational level. So popular culture has attained an immense global following precisely because it is popular. So for many citizens of the countries, though the near takeover of their own cultural industries, especially for younger audience, is of great concern. The dominance of the United States film industry has been a rapidly growing concern. So aspects of culture are integrated into structure. Many countries are able to show how the parts contribute to the whole. So next is the critical or out of the box. So it has the regular and extensive knowledge of American popular culture as an instrument of influence on cultural changes in our countries. So culture is generalized into a new domain, so they are able to create new ideas and concepts throughout the world. So the growth of global popular culture tends to get the most attention and to strike people on a visceral level. Many complain that this form of globalization is actually Americanization because the United States is by far the biggest producer of popular culture goods. Popular is manifested around the world through different medium, among other entertainment and consumer goods.
Next, please.
So, my name is Ariel Marie Castillo. So, I'm going to tackle about the disadvantage and disadvantage. So, next, please. So, advantage. So, pop culture often use products of high culture as the basis. So, this lead not only to increase in the prestige of fully formed mainstream, but also awakening the interest of consumers to the original high culture, previously little known work of art. So, from all the above, we can say that the first advantage of the mass culture is the universal accessibility as a result of commercialization. So, for example, Mona Lisa, gihimo, ano ni Leonardo da Vinci. So, um, muna siya ang most frequently used image in the pop culture, which is from memes in social media to large advertising campaign don't get too much additional value from the famous painting. So, next. So, disadvantage. So, first is pop culture distorts cultural values, substitute internal with short term, and creates a seductive world of pleasure and passing ideals and less happiness and moments. So, this makes society disoriented because spirituality gives rise to misconception about ano morality. So next is a product of pop culture wala pa, have a very short life cycle. So being a commercial offers, so product of culture become obsolete as quickly as become popular. Kay although ang pop culture is um always jud na high ilahang demand. So next is lastly is pop culture creates a cloth of a specific product as a result of extensive advertising and PR campaigns, which leads to dependence on the idol's image and lose individuality, at least a wake of expression through the elements of popular culture. So this leads to the depletion of the creative potential of the society. So next. So how it affects individuals. So popular culture affect everyone in our society today. The media bombard teen with the image and trends. So the behavior and trends that the celebrity own influence the way that society perceives itself. So most in the society, especially women and teenagers, look up to and aspire the emulates a celebrity. So for example of karon is ang ilahang mas for example is ang mga Kardashians. So mostly ang teenager is nag-look up sila sa mga Kardashians, sa mga makita nila sa TikTok. So um that's why mo dako siya impact sa popular culture karon these days. So um daghan siya og positive and negative effects sa tanang tao kay um sa sobra nila ka ano is murag tanan na is um dili kayo dili na kayo um anindot, which is ang uban is not influential tan-awon. So that's it. Next please.
So, good afternoon everyone. I am Alexandra David and today I will be reporting Hypebeast. So, my part is introduction, history, and what is how Hypebeast nowadays. So, Hypebeast is in pop culture, it is a derogatory term used to describe an individual who collects luxury apparel, shoes, and accessories to increase their status. Hypebeasts usually wear a mismatch of streetwear name brands such as Supreme, Off-White, Vitamins, Antisocial Club, and Bape. So, kani nga mga brand is mga limited edition lang. Then, next is history. The term hypebeast, which appeared in 2005, is a blend of two terms. Hype or extravagant publicity, which means kanang murag cool siya tan-awon sa if kanang nay makakita sa iya na magsuot like kanang ang paminaw niya sa iyang sarili is kanang branded iyang sanina na ginasuot, then kanang feeling niya astig kay siya na kay mahalan lagi ang mga sanina. Then hype beast is a slang term for a person who demonstrates exceptional skill. In this case, describing the hype beast is euphemism for passion. So, this is kanang the way niya pagdala ang iyahang ginasuot na sanina, kanang confident kay siya na. Then, in 2005, sneaker euphenist and college student Kevin Ma created a website to document his fashion interests. He chose to call it Hypebeast after a slang term for trend chaser. Founder Kevin Ma describes it Hong Kong-based Hypebeast, one of the biggest online destinations for trending sneaker, news, streetwear, and broader men's fashion, has had a surprisingly organic evolution. So, until na nag-grow ang kaning hypebeast nga trend kay motong nagbuhat og vlog ang kani si Kevin, nagbuhat siya vlog para ma-post niya dito ang mga iyahang description sa hypebeast kung unsa iyahang na-observe ana, then gipost pud niya dito ang kanang evolution sa hypebeast. Then katungat nga website kay nisikat na siya o nakatabang siya ang pagsikat ato para ang kanang mga hypebeast nga mga clothing brand kay kanang halinon kayo na trending jud siya. Mao ni siya ang evolution of hypebeast. So in 2005 mao ni siya Parel Stan. In 2006 kay kaning The Zip Up Hoodie Head. In 2007 ang Watanabe Skater. 2008 ang The Kanye to the Moon Forum member. In 2009 the Streetwear Survivor. 2010 the Denim Head. And in 2011, the Americana Addict. In 2012, the Designer Drip, #influencer. And last is, in 2013, the Roblogable Street Gut. So, what is Hypebeast today? So, nowadays, Hypebeasts are increasingly encouraged to consume in order to stay hype, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to do so. In the end, the most important things is to be more conscious of the materialistic tendencies of hypebeast culture. So hypebeast can mean a lot in different things for different people. So nayuban tao nga nabag-uhan pa sila sa kanang mga panuot sa uban tao, like kanang hypebeast na ana kanang like kanang dagko na kay ang mga fans ana kanang kuyo kaayo forma kanang lahi gud sa ilang pananaw kay nag-evolve na ang kuan kanang panuot sa tao karon. Then para man sa ila kay nayuban para sa ila pangit ang kay wala nila nagustuhan kanang dili nila bet ang kanang mga trend karon na mga sinuotan sa mga tao, especially sa kanang Gen Z. So karon kay ang mga tao nga ganahan og sneakers kay ma-consider na sila na hypebeast ana. Then naman jud ana nga mga klase sa tao nga kanang high fashion ang ilahang kuan kanang panuot nila. So mao lang to. Thank you.
A given point of time. Pop culture also helps us to gain empathy by recognizing ourselves in each other. And also, the most common categories of pop cultures are entertainment, sports, news, politics, and fashion. So sa fashion, diri na bilong ang hypebeast. Next, please. What is hypebeast? Hypebeast culture is a subgenre of streetwear culture, a clothing style that emerged from skateboard lifestyle. Streetwear blends casual clothing such as t-shirts, oversized sweaters, hoodies, jeans, and sneakers with sportswear and hip-hop elements. So hypebeast is a swag name for someone who is beast or obsessed about the hype in fashion and will do whatever it takes to obtain that desire of hype. Next, please. Hypebeast is generally generally refers to a person who is devoted to acquiring fashionable items, especially clothing and shoes. A hypebeast is a term to describe someone who follows trends in fashion, particularly streetwear, that are hype and usually branded with extremely high price tag to make a social statement and impress others. So as you can see, mo na siya ang example sa uh, hype beast diri sa Pilipinas. They wear clothes na kanang oversized t-shirts, kanang mga mahalon. Tapos just to make a social statement and impress others. They are just a simple group of people that they want our attention. These people want to be happy in the way of wearing their favorite fashion. This is also a way of them to meet another sets of friends. Next, what is the purpose of hype beast? Hype beast is a mostly derogatory slang word for someone, usually a man, who follows trends in fashion, particularly streetwear, for the purpose of making a social statement. So this means making a social statement about his social standing. That is, he wears clothes that tell pe- tell people about his standing in society, which could be rich, young, or urban. So ang ano daw, sa pananamit daw mababase kung unsa ang iyang social status, kung unsa ang iyang social standing diri sa society. Next please. Next please. So lastly, what is connection between the pop culture and hype beast? In pop culture, hypebeast is a derogatory term used to describe an individual who collects luxury apparel, shoes, and accessories to increase their status. Hypebeast usually wear a mismatch of streetwear, name brands such as Supreme, Off-White, Vitamins, Antisocial, Social Club, and Ray. So in pop culture, diba, and pop culture is a set of beliefs or fashion. Dira sa fashion dira mabilong ang hype beast. So ang hype beast is kanang describe an individual who collects luxury apparel or shoes, accessories, just to para makita ang ilahang social status or social standing. And to hype beast pod is kanang kanang they hype beast ang usually wear kanang mga Supreme, kanang mga mahalon gud na mga brand, just to para makita sa mga tao kung sa ilahang social standing or social status. And also by this ma-meet pud nila ang uban set of friends and also other people. Marato, thank you.
So next is how hype beasts affect individuals. So my name is Castro Dion. So how hype beasts affect individuals. So ang hype beast culture represent teenager who wants to fit in and gain confidence. It affects the individual self-esteem because it helps people to become more younger and cool. Insecurities always there that might damage the mental health and relationship with others. So ang hype beast niya kay maka maka siya, maka-affect siya sa individual because mao to maka-boost siya and confident good, then maka-help po siya sa self-esteem sa isa ka tao kay most karon sa mga teenager kay hypebeast na kay galawan, pormahan. Then ang uban like kanang mga baduy kay suot kay murag sila ang ginakuan ron ginabuli-buli gud. Then feeling nila kay baba sila kay dili sila ka-afford ni ana. Mao to, insecurity always naa dira. So maka-affect jud siya sa life sa isa ka kuan sa isa ka individual. So naa siya positive impact. So mao to ang gain maka-gain siya confidence, then maka-feel pud siya accepted sa isa ka peer group or sa isa ka society. Like kanang kanang ang mga grupo karon sa mga bata, di ba, hypebeast kay galawan, then kung di maka murag mobaba ilang self-esteem sa isa ka tawo kung dili sila ingato pod makaporma kay dili sila dawaton kay ingnan sila baduy nga nagbulihon pod. Then it is easy to find like-minded friends like ka-vibes nila ingana makapangita dahil sila ka-vibes, then can make easily ageless, then makabata pod ang hype beast. Like makita nato karon sa mga kuan sa social media kanang sa Instagram, then TikTok, halos ang mga tigulang kay nagasuot o kanang hype beast na pormahan, then mao to makabata pod siya. Then naa pod siya negative impact. Ang negative sige. So naapay positive impact. So ang naay maka-pension for creative photography pod siya, like makagwapo siya sa pagkuha good. Di ba pagka baduy atong suot then magpa-picture ta kay dili man kay na makagain og likes kasi mostly karon mga bata kay naga-care sila sa likes nga na sa heart reactions. Then it can actually help advance your career, that like kanang makuha kag model sa isa ka brand ano, like Fubu, then Nike nga na, then pa next to die. So naa po siya negative impact. Ang negative impact niya kay an individual's insecurity can have a negative impact on how they view others and therefore will affect their relationship with them. And this leads young people to think that they are need to own this luxury product to be validated. And there are so much damage to put into in self-esteem these days to point where it's damaging to their mental health. So ang negative impact sa hypebeast kay itong karon ng mga bata kay murag kuan kanang ginaunauna nila na need nila na ginaunauna nila na need nila naing ato na pormahan para ma-accept sila sa ilang ka-groups nga na kanang maapil-apil sa like sa sayaw kay naamay uban na 'di ba sa isa ka grupo sa sa mga dancer kay gusto nila ilang kuan ilang porma kay cool nga na. Then mao to. Then like sa laing bansa kay ang mga gamit dito 'di ba Balenciaga, then ang uban ginabuli dito pagka ilang gamit kay fake or nga na dili known na product. Then mao to maka mao to mag-lead sa bully hantod sa ma-adto siya anxiety and depression. Mao tong damaging to their mental health. So next na dai. Mao to sa conclusion na. Thank you.
So for our conclusion, by the use of globalization in propelled advances in communication and transition of the ideas and knowledge among individuals, as we all knew that popular culture affects everyone in society today, the media bombarded teenagers with images and trends like TikTok, on what is the derogatory term used to describe the individual who collects luxury apparel, shoes, and accessories to increase their status, or the hype beast. Nevertheless, people tend to uptight among their looks and sometimes degrade who they truly are. A reminder from our group, beauty is the eye of the beholder. You should love and respect yourselves and be kind-hearted to the people you interact with because true beauty comes from within. Thank you. That will be all for our report.